Hello, my friends. It's that time for your daily drill. It's your buddy Phil again, and we are journeying through the PMBOK guide, taking a look at various aspects, various elements of the PMBOK guide. And today we continue in our journey, taking a look at the UTTs, the unique tools and techniques. So your first question for today is contingent response strategies. Contingent response strategies is a tool and technique of which process? 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Contingent response strategies are used in the plan, risk, responses process. Remember, these contingent response strategies are strategies that we carry out under certain conditions. For example, if there are clouds in the sky, then buy the umbrellas. So contingent response strategies are contingent on certain pre-qualified events. Let's go to our next one. The next one I have for you today is none other than the infamous decomposition. Now for this one, I have two processes that I want you to address. I'll give you 15 seconds. Three, 2, and 1. The answer to decomposition is firstly, create WBS. And secondly, define activities. Define activities uses decomposition to decompose those work packages into tasks. And in create WBS, we decompose the root node into smaller levels in the WBS. Let's go on to our next. The next one I have for you is none other than dependency determination. Dependency determination. And don't forget the integration. This is used in one place and one place only. Do you remember where this is used? Dependency determination and integration. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is used in none other than the sequence activities process. And you might recall we have different types of dependencies. We have internal, we have external, we have mandatory, also known as hard logic, and we have discretionary, also known as soft logic. What else do we call it? Preferred logic. What else do we call it? Preferential logic. So we have internal, external, mandatory, and discretionary. But you got to know the alternate names we call these things. There's the entire list. Internal, external, mandatory, and discretionary. Great. Let's move on. The next one I have for you is none other than DFX. For those who may have forgotten, it's design for X. Design for X is a tool and technique used where? Go for it. And the answer to the question, my friends, is none other than manage quality. You can design for many different things. You can design for ease of use, ease of assembly, so on and so forth. And it's in manage quality that you do this. Let's move on. So you get the picture. Design for X is used in manage quality. Let's move on. The next one is financing. Where do we use financing as a tool and technique? This is an easy one, 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Financing is used in the determine budget process. This is where you decide how you're going to finance the project, especially massive capital projects. Financing is one of the tools and techniques, because remember, we determine the cost baseline. We determine project funding requirements. You do need financing on several projects of a large size. And that's where you begin to think of how to finance the project. Okay. Let's go to our next one. The next one, I simply refer to it as FLR. FLR. What do you think that means? Funding limit reconciliation. Funding limit reconciliation, we've talked about this before. This is a tool and technique of what? Three, two, one. FLR is again used in the determine budget process. Funding limit reconciliation, as you might recall from my previous videos, when you're talking about this, you got to think about reconciling those funding limits. If you've got a limit of 5 million every month and you've got a budget that looks spread like this, well, this means you have issues and you need to redistribute the work associated with these particular months, because you've got a limit of 5, but you have work of 8. These need to be rescheduled. And that is the whole concept behind funding limit reconciliation, or you need express permission. But the bottom line is, you want to do a funding limit reconciliation just to observe any funding limits that may exist with the agency you're working with the client you're working with whatever business unit you're working with, or in your organization as a whole. All right. Let's go to our next one. Our next one is historical information review. Where do we use historical information review? It's a tool and technique of what? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, you might find this interesting. Again, it is a determine budget process. Budget process. Historical information review involves taking a look at what has happened on previous projects, taking a look at this historical information to determine and decipher if the budget that you have put together is really viable based on what you know about the work, the nature of work from previous projects you might have worked on. Let's play with just 3 more and we will be done for the day. The next one, I simply will refer to this as ITA, individual and team assessments. Individual and team assessments. Individual and team assessments is a tool and technique used in, do you remember? 10 seconds for this one. All right, 3, 2, and 1. Individual and team assessments follow training. When you have developed the team, you should, as part of that step, do an individual and team assessment. So this is a tool and technique of the develop team process. In develop team, we carry out individual and team assessments, and you do know that is linked to what you get out, TPA, team performance assessments. So the output of develop team is team performance assessment, but we use individual and team assessments as a tool and technique. We have 2 left. This is another fun one of mine because people often forget this one. This is information management. It sounds very bland, doesn't it? Information management is a tool and technique used in which process? 3, 2, 1. The answer is MPK, Manage Project Knowledge. In Managed Project Knowledge, we connect people to information they need. We connect people to library services, to places where the information that they need is. And that is a way we manage project knowledge, by connecting people to information. Okay. Here is your final one for the day. Can you tell me in which processes do you use the following technique? Parametric estimating. Where do we use this, my friends? I'm giving you a clue. There are 3 stems here, which means there are 3 places that you use parametric estimating. I'll give you 20 seconds. All right, 3, 2, and 1. The answers, my friends, first of all, estimate activity duration. Estimate activity duration. Estimating how long each activity will take. The second one is estimate costs. And last but not least, we have estimate activity resources. Estimate activity resources, estimate costs, and estimate activity duration. All those three use parametric estimating. And with that, we have come to the end of our drill for today. I hope you found this to be useful. I hope it jogged your memory. All the very best in your prep. Take care.